My best friend is gonna be a dad in the same time than me and I hate it. Edit, I'll put this edit in the beginning so that I'm sure you'll read it. Reading through the comments here really helped me to get back to reality. I'm going to have a kid FFS. One of the best advice I've read here was that I do not have a do-over on this one. This is my one and only time that I'm going to have a first kid and I'm totally ruining my experience with those thoughts. I'll speak to my therapist for sure, but you guys have already helped me a lot. Thanks. I feel like a terrible person for feeling that way. I hate everything about and it makes me a very bad friend. Here is some context. My friend and I always had the same interests in many things. He also always had a financial situation better than mine, and loves to have nice things. This creates situations where whenever I have something, he has the better one. Like, for example, I just bought a good computer, a couple months later he shows up with a better one. A nice great camera with a nice lens? He'll get the newer more advanced one. Anything I'll have he'll have it too but just better. I don't want to believe he does it on purpose, we just have the same interests and he has more money so it does just make sense. Anyway, this became a running joke between my wife and I. For a long time, I was having a successful relationship with her, and he was struggling to keep a girlfriend. So when he finally found the one, 10 months ago, we joked about it because she was a single mom with had a 5-year-old daughter. So we joked that okay, he had to one-up you on this as well, you're married to me so he had to find someone that would push him to the next step immediately. And so that was the joke for everything, and it was just a joke. When we decided to try for a baby, we joked about it too, you'll see that when I'll be pregnant he'll show up with twins. Well, you read the title. When I knew I was going to be a dad, I was very excited and I told him the news. I was feeling great about it, I was thinking this would be an amazing moment. Him and his girlfriend asked question, she gave us advices, they were great. And at some point, well, he or she is going to have a friend I guess. And now I hate myself for the following, I was crushed inside. It was no longer a special announcement, it became another thing we'd have in common. I stayed polite and played along but I was not happy at all about it. They didn't plan to do it. They didn't do it just because we wanted one. It just happened. And yet I have this feeling that it's exactly what happened. He went in his 30s with no stable relationship, met someone just to move in with her kid 3 months later, then have a kid with her not even a year into their relationship. I hate every single word that I wrote in this post. Since he announced the news to me, I don't want to speak about it at all with him, I barely want to talk to him, and I'm just focusing on my wife and my future kid. I put all my energy into her. Just I don't have anyone to share my joy with now, and it's my fault. Now, he comes up to me telling me everything he plans, the shopping he's gonna do for the baby, the doctor's appointments, and I don't want to tell what I'm doing or what we're planning because that's gonna be something he'll compare and comment about. Just yesterday he told me that it looked like I didn't care about the first ultrasound appointment just because I said that I cared more about knowing that the baby is okay than seeing the pictures, because I don't think I'll be able to understand what I'll be seeing anyway. I took it very wrong and blocked him. Let me analyze the story for you. This story is a raw and layered reflection on the nature of envy, identity, and the fragile boundaries of male friendship when shaped by unspoken competition. At its surface, it appears to be about a man who feels eclipsed when his best friend announces that he too is going to become a father at the same time. But beneath that, the narrative exposes how deeply entangled the narrator's sense of self has become with the presence of his friend, someone who has consistently mirrored his milestones but with apparent superiority, thanks to financial privilege or timing. Over the years, what may have started as playful rivalry or harmless comparison has evolved into something corrosive. The narrator has internalized a narrative in which he is always one step behind, and this mindset distorts even the most intimate and life-changing experiences, such as becoming a parent. The emotional rupture happens not because the friend is also having a child, but because this new life event, something deeply personal and long anticipated, gets folded into a familiar dynamic of feeling lesser than. His joy is no longer his own, it becomes just another shared checkpoint, and this shatters the uniqueness he hoped to find in the experience. This moment is also telling in how it reveals unprocessed grief over years of comparison, perhaps a friendship that's been subtly competitive rather than mutually supportive. The friend's behavior, while not overtly malicious, comes off as tone-deaf or self-centered, adding to the narrator's feeling of isolation. The narrator's emotional response is complex. He feels guilt for his resentment, shame for not being happy for someone he cares about, and confusion over how something so good could feel so tainted. He retreats into silence and into the safety of his own immediate family, realizing that he's not only grieving the loss of emotional exclusivity, but also questioning the emotional safety of the friendship itself. Ultimately, this story becomes a meditation on how unresolved insecurities can manifest in moments of joy, and how essential it is to confront those feelings, not to condemn oneself, but to protect the authenticity of one's own life journey. It's a reminder that comparison is not just the thief of joy, it can be the thief of meaning if left unchallenged.